Welcome to another episode of the Bad Taste Video Podcast. I'm Mike. I'm here with my... Oh, man, there's a lot that I want to do here, but...
yeah, you got to be real careful this week, my man.
I got to be careful with this one, yeah. But I'm, you know what, just my homeboy here, Mr. Grizz. What's up, dude? Right. Episode 262. I can't believe it. Like, every week that we sign on and we do this and I do like my little intro and all that stuff, it's like, oh man, like episode 262, like where the fuck?
Dude.
Yeah, man.
Cook him, dude.
That's a lot of episodes, bro. That's a lot of fucking episodes.
Dude, and especially now you think about it, that we're like banging out so much fucking Patreon content.
Oh
like,
yeah.
We're doing this quite often.
We were,
dude, and like this
we were
week
bad.
Was a banger Patreon content.
We were bad with it, but now we aren't. Now we're good to go. But you know what, Grizz? Let's hit that intro and let's get it rolling. What's up? What's up, chat? What's going on? We're here this week with a movie called Hellroller. Now, this is something that I feel like a lot of people may know of just because of like the V.h.s world, right? Like this is kind of a bigger tape, amongst collectors.
I think that, in maybe some circles, but I think there's probably a large sector. Oh, you just got big, bro.
Yeah, well, I feel like make myself a little bigger.
I feel like there's a large sector of probably VHS collectors that still probably don't even know about this movie.
Yeah.
It's and I the one thing you'll constantly get when you see the cover of this, which I'm guilty of too. The first time I saw it, I thought it was fucking Jim Varney. In a fucking horror movie, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" Because it does kind of look like Ernest on the fucking cover.
Yeah,
but it's well known in like the deep divers of horror, but I don't think it's that well known as far as like
the general populace
population. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
So I do have a copy of Hellroller. I have a VHS copy of this movie. Got it from my man Bruce. I traded for it. Had to give up some stuff that made me shed a tear, but it's okay because it's worth it, because we would have never covered the movie that I traded him anyway. This was
Dick
released...
Mangle, you have the best name ever. I just want to tell you
that. This was distributed by Dark Side Home Video. I wonder if they did anything else besides this.
I didn't actually ever look into that, but like... Well, this movie is like kind of like a conundrum to me in a way, because like this is, when you watch it, this is a very low budget shot on video movie, but it is actually like studded with fucking like celebrities, like not like A-list celebrities, but like well-known people of the like, B movie fucking world, like I was actually kind of blown away with how many like quote unquote famous people were in such a fucking low budget movie, dude. And then actually realizing that like this dude Gary Levinson or whatever, the director, has been in like Cannibal Hookers, Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers.
Oh.
He's acted in all of these movies, and I'm like, that's it. That's how he's made these connections to people like Michelle Bauer and shit like that, and able to get them into his movies. So I'm like, man, this is like a cool, like this feels like a passion project of this guy. You know what I'm saying? He called in some favors and he got this movie made.
Elizabeth Catane? Yeah, Elizabeth Catane as Lizzie was in Friday the 13th, Part 7 as Robin.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Dude, Mary Warnoff, the fucking Chopping Mall. Like, she's like she's a fucking OG of
Night
horror,
of the
dude.
Comet
She's like a
and
huge
shit.
hit in the, yeah, dude. Like, she was all about it. So,
Yeah.
like, there's some actual, like, you know, not celebrity, but some, like, star power that's, like, I feel like put into this movie for something that I feel like people did not see at the time of it being made. You know? Like, very few.
Well, when we start playing clips from this movie, you'll see that it's a very low budget film. It's very, you know, it's exactly what you would expect us to watch. This one is, though, highly offensive. In 2023,
the best ways possible, though.
Yeah, in 2023, this movie is ridiculously offensive, mostly because of the language, right? Like, that's the big issue here.
It's 1992. I mean, that's
different time.
It is a different time.
Different time for sure. But yeah,
bro,
go on.
Before we dig into this movie, I had an experience that I haven't had in a long time this past weekend, dude.
Really?
I went to a movie theater. I saw a new movie that came out, and I actually fucking enjoyed it.
Really?
It was not a complete piece of shit movie. And guess what movie it was?
What movie?
It was the fucking Barbie movie, dude.
There it is, man. See?
Dude, I'm telling you, it fucking hit all the fucking right notes for me. I have an older sister who's a Barbie fanatic. So dude, all the fucking shit, I know it all.
You got the jokes and all that shit.
I got the inside jokes, dude.
Good.
And the seats
Good movie,
were like
though?
fucking dope now, dude. Like, they got like recliners in the theaters and shit. I was like, dude, if I can smoke a doobie in here, I'm fucking set. Like
would've been
there's
falling
different
asleep.
beers and shit. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is
Wow. I haven't been to a theater I think the last movie I saw in an actual movie theater was the last Jedi, like the last
No
Star Wars
shit.
movie. Yeah, like pre-COVID. That was the last movie I saw in a theater. That's fucking crazy to think about.
There's movies that came out like during the pandemic that like I really wish I could have seen in theater. Like when that Mortal Kombat movie came out.
Yeah.
I wish they would fucking re-release that in theaters, dude. I feel like it would definitely get a crowd. Because that's something that was great watching it at home and being like in the middle of all that. But dude, that's something that deserved the fucking that thunderous fucking, you know, sound and shit you get, man. Like, man, I mean, I as much as I hate the crowds, there's something pretty dope about going to the fucking movies again, man.
You know, I like have no problem watching movies like Mortal Kombat and all that stuff at my house because, you know, both of us have like, you got a big TV now, what, like a 65 inch or people have 70 inch TVs now.
Right.
You have a sound bar or something.
4K.
Yeah. So like when you're watching a modern movie, I feel like watching it at your house, like I get no, I don't know. Like I don't lose that like dopamine rush of watching the new movie, watching it at home compared to the theater. Now, like going and watching like the shit that we watch on here when you go see a screening of, you know, Dawn of the Dead or whatever. Like now that is the fucking type of shit that that's like the theater experience because you never even got the chance to talk about it with people like while you know, while just seeing
and I think
it
that's
and all
what
that.
we probably do more often than not now is we're going to see, like, we have like, you know, retro fucking horror movie nights here in Buffalo and shit. Like, I think that's more the common place that I would go and see a movie because I have seen, you know, the drive-in movies and shit like that. I saw Tremors last year at the drive-in, was fucking awesome. But like, you know, to actually go to the theater, wasn't a horror movie, but dude, goddamn it, Barbie fucking got me. Good fucking movie. People should go see that shit.
What do you think about like how they're, you know how they keep doing that thing where like Fathom event, we're gonna play Nightmare on Elm Street like at your local AMC, but they do it at like fucking 6 p.m. on a Thursday. What do you think about that?
It's always weeknights, dude.
It's
all
so
the nostalgia.
stupid.
I hate that shit. Like, you would actually pull a crowd if you did it on a fucking Saturday night or a Friday night. You're not gonna lose revenue because you're not showing the new stupid fucking Little Mermaid or some garbage. Like, you know, you could fucking show something that's great that people would still come and see.
Well, like what's funny is the demographic that those types of movies are like really going towards now are like us, so like millennials, and then like the people above us. Very rarely are you going to get people like your parents' age now. Like I don't think my dad and mom are going to go fucking see Halloween in theaters again. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. It's
So
the
like
people that didn't get a chance to see it.
yeah, so like when you're making these fucking showings at like 5:30, 6 o'clock or whatever on a
Who is that
Tuesday.
for?
Yeah, like that sucks, man. Everybody's got work and shit. Like that's a fucking 11 o'clock on a Saturday night or like 11 o'clock on a Friday night. I prefer the Friday night. What
Me
about
too.
you?
Let me recover a little bit longer over the weekend from
Yeah.
staying up so late.
Well, I don't know. Like
Old
there's,
man now.
it like brings me back to like high school, like making plans to go to the movies on Friday night, like meeting up and like going up there and all that
Yeah,
shit.
dude.
Or
An event.
because there was no cell phone. So if you didn't make plans Friday night, that was it.
Oh, man.
Then of course you had to make your plans for Saturday, Friday night. But you know, old man yelling at the clouds.
I mean, imagine now, like, you know, you're in 1992 and you're fucking digging up fucking movies like this with your friend. Like, what the fuck did we just stumble across with this? Like, I this is like something I never saw. Like Hellroller, I never saw in a local fucking rental shop.
Never.
Like,
I've never. I had no idea what this movie was about. I knew about the tape. You know what I mean? But I never watched the movie. It's not available online anywhere. Right? Like I wasn't able to see anything. Luckily I had the tape, so like it didn't fucking matter for us. But
and we watched it together.
yes, of course. You came over and we watched it in the same room. Yep. But I don't remember ever seeing this. I would be fucking surprised if there were 1,000 copies of this movie like pressed.
Yeah, I'd be surprised. Yeah, it's got to be around that roughly. But even then, how many survived? You know.
Yeah, because one thing I got to say, we always talk about like, oh, like rare tapes and all that stuff. This is one of those movies where I feel like I don't know a bunch of people that have it. You know what I mean? Like just like
A handful, man.
like Dead is Dead 2. Like I only have seen like 2, 3 other people maybe with that. Like how many copies of that were made, or at least how many got out?
You're just trying to flex right now.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to talk about here. There's shit, dude. Let's not get into it. There's shit that's like, you know, they have those things like, oh, the iceberg of like horror movies and stuff. Like the iceberg of VHS collecting. Like, oh yeah, like I may have this shit, but like there's a whole nother level of shit that like I'm not even gonna attempt to get.
Always.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna fucking mortgage my fucking collection for like 1 or 2 things. Like fuck that, man. It ain't worth it.
Digging up,
But
fucking yeah, I agree.
But I will say this movie is worth it. 100% worth it. Not to spend $1,000 on it, but I feel like the hype, it's got it for a reason. It is like it is fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
I didn't know what I was getting into. Dude, this is pretty fucking wild. No, okay, this is not a radon release.
No.
This is like what was the company? It's like I think it's a one-off. honestly.
Dark Side Home Video, number 101
Yeah,
in their
this is-
catalog. So
This is self-released. I can almost promise you it's self-released. This is probably similar to like the Darkness treatment with fucking Norse films and shit. Probably a very similar situation.
yeah. So why don't you give a synopsis of this movie, because I'm very curious how you would describe what happens in this.
A very unfortunate handicapped individual who's lived a hard life just can't take it anymore, you know, and he gets his comeuppance. I think that really that sums it up. You know, he goes after the ones that he feels has wronged him, and maybe he's right, maybe he's wrong. Who am I to judge this man's life? You
This
know?
isn't our
it's a
story.
good watch either way.
Yeah, this isn't our story, right? This is
is
Eugene's. That's actually a decent explanation of this film, because there really isn't like there's really no plot to the movie, right? It's just kind of like a couple days in this dude's life, right? Like it's just a
is pretty
snapshot.
hectic.
Yeah, snapshot in time of a very fucked up thing.
You've done a lot of, like we've talked about it, and you've done a lot of comparing of this movie to the movie Street Trash. So I kind of like was thinking about that going into it, and I get that for sure. You know, it's
I said Street Trash without the melting.
100%. Yeah, they don't expect like, you know, that level of effects in this movie. But with that being said, I feel like this dude's definitely a street trash fan, right? I mean,
has to be.
He's watched that a few times.
Yeah.
It gives off that vibe of like, you know, it's all about like these street people, all the characters we end up like, you know, meeting and shit like that. They're all some kind of like either streetwalker, you know, bum, fucking some kind of like just crazy individuals on the street, very much like street trash.
Yeah,
but it's a totally different story told in the same vein though. So I could see how like they would exist in the same, like, this is the next city down.
This is L.A.
where, melting
where that's Brooklyn.
Yet, you know?
That was Brooklyn,
yeah.
and this is L.A. Right? That's where they're.
Yeah.
This does give off that like late 80s, early 90s camp video and all that, like Hollywood setting. You know what I mean? Like low budget movies shot like around the strip or at least in the area. You know, the casting you could see is probably people that worked on the strip.
Other movies.
Other
movies too.
I
think a lot of
adult
I feel
movies.
Like a lot of these people, like the actual like cast members, I feel like are just people that he's met doing a lot of the other movies. And I feel like that's how this got made.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't have the money to make this. He doesn't have the money to pay the people that are in this movie. This is definitely, hey, let's fucking help Gary out and get this movie made for him.
Yeah. So where the fuck do you even want to start with this?
Well, I mean, I think it's important to understand that our man here, Eugene, he's wheelchair bound. I mean, that's first and foremost. If you haven't gotten that yet, he's handicapped. He's in a wheelchair. The way he got there, to me, is very interesting.
Yes,
that backstory is pretty wild, dude. Especially the individual that we see that's like doing that to the mom and shit like that.
I'll explain. It is a very crudely put together Siamese twin, like they're conjoined twins, and they kill and are, because I know that's not a thing that they want you to say on YouTube, his mother. And also paralyze him as punishment. He's a baby at the time, right? So like that's
how do they cripple him? Like I wish they would like showed them like river dancing his legs or some shit.
They need like a Necrophiles fucking like baby stunt baby type
I was
thing.
missing that part of it.
Yeah, but like he is basically like a miserable individual with some sort of like he's got like a tick, and he's got an explosive. Like an explosive temper and everything, and basically
he starts fucking ticking out and shit, dude. So, I like that aspect about him.
I'm gonna give just a taste of like the type of shit that's in this movie. Now we do have to cut some of the stuff a little bit differently than we used to because of how YouTube runs and you know the algorithm with catching certain words, this and that. So I made sure that you know it was taken care of in a good way. So this is a part where Eugene's, it's not his mom, it's his aunt. Yeah, it's his aunt.
Yeah, his aunt who's taking care of him because the mom is gone.
Is also taken from him. This guy looks like a Rob Zombie character. Whoa. Now that's a clip to put in front of a song. There she is. Long way from the chopping mall, right?
Oh my god.
She's listed as Penny Arcade in the casting.
Yeah,
so
a lot of these things are just hilarious. The names that they gave these people.
Do you like Night of the Comet? You like that movie?
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah,
she's like I like all those campy 80 fucking, you know.
She plays like a fucked up character in that movie, right?
She does. But Chopping Mall is definitely A+. I watch that over fucking Night of the Comet any day.
And also TerrorVision, right?
Yeah, TerrorVision, I think. She did there's a lot of other stuff too, I think, earlier in her career too. So she's been
Death Race 2000, Rock and Roll High School.
There we go.
Damn, man. I'm going through her IMDb right now. Let's see. She's been acting for a very long time.
Damn, I'm going through her IMDb.
Dude,
right now. That sounded very
her first role, 1966, The Beard. There you go.
Shit,
I think you were in that movie.
I was, bro. I was the star.
Rock and Roll High School, Taxi, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, Night of the Comet, Blood Theater. Wow, look, Suicidal Tendencies, Institution. Yeah, she was the mom in the Institutionalized music video.
Oh my god.
Wow,
Don't get me
wow.
started.
What? Yeah, TerraVision, Chopping Mall. Those were back to back. That's pretty good, man. Damn, but yeah. So she's taken from Eugene, and this kind of sets him on like a crash course to hell. I guess his status as the Hellroller, right?
So, dude, and I love that, like, I thought, okay, we meet this, like, Lenny character, I guess is a good way of putting him, of, like, from Mice and Men. You know,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's kind of like this, like, slower, gentle, not gentle, but he's a giant who wants to be gentle for the most part. He's got a dark side, you know, he's got some demons. But when they meet these characters together, I thought this was going to be like the team going forward throughout the whole movie. You know,
it is to an extent, but
for a little bit, we lose this character. But dude, when I met that guy, I was like, this is fucking off the rails already. Like, I was like, this is fucking ridiculous.
So this is the part in the movie where Eugene is dumped out of his chair and all that, and this guy comes over, and this is his new companion in life, at least for a short period of time. But this like introduction, and what do you want to call it? Like I think his name is Donald. Is his name Donald?
I think it is Donald. I think
yeah,
you're right there.
But like this is his introduction, and it's funny because it's a slight like it's like a joke for the shit that we watch and the directors that we love.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, buddy. You're a real pal.
It's all right.
What's your name, anyway?
Oh, I'm Donald. I come here from Tennessee. You know, I used to be a motion picture director. I was the Fellini of horror pictures in Tennessee. Then I come out to Hollywood and I become a bum. I don't know what happened.
I love that, man. And I think I like it more because it's like all these dudes that like went out there thinking like, yeah, like I like made these movies, like they were released by these small distros. They went out to Hollywood and like they saw it. It just ain't what you think it is. Right. But like you could see how over exaggerated all these characters are, how the personalities are super exaggerated, how they like, I guess the way that they speak is super exaggerated. And you'll see there's other characters that we're going to meet that are, it's like even worse. But this dude,
are ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's the highlight of this movie.
This movie basically turns into like fucking like Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer also.
Where he's kind of like got like obsessions of like different, like all these different women and shit like that. And like, dude.
Well, like him and his buddy start like going on like this killing spree. They turn on each other, you know, like.
I mean, I feel like Eugene kind of turned on him. I feel like that.
Well, he did. Yeah. That was for sure. That was for sure.
Because I don't think Donald had the brain capacity to fucking turn on Eugene. It was a pretty fucking brutal thing. But the one thing that, the first thing that brings these two together, and it's one of my favorite fucking kills in this movie, dude, is from the person that fucks up Eugene and then how these guys meet is this douchebag at the fucking gym who kicks Eugene out of the gym because he's got handicapped problems and shit. He doesn't want him in the gym. So like he throws his ass in the dumpster and shit, and Eugene wants revenge, man. So he takes his new friend Donald and they go get revenge on the gym guy.
This music, I'm gonna work out to this. It's like a Road Warriors like entrance theme. He picks up the dumbbell while the guy's bench pressing. It smashes him in the face.
That fucking look.
Yeah, he's got this like doofy look on. Look at that. He's got the Taz like goatee and sideburns. Now, some of the kills you don't see in this movie, but it by no means detracts from anything. It still works. It still works.
It's weird, dude. Like, I guess that's not in like a bad way. This movie's just like fucking weird. And like, it's so weird that it keeps me like glued to it where I'm like, what the fuck is gonna happen next. And then there's like a good chunk of this movie that is like basically professional dancers just like getting sexy on screen.
Yeah, yeah,
long.
Yeah,
and like honestly, the goriest parts of this movie we can't even show you because it's full of fucking boobage. So it's like, and there's no way of getting around it. I mean, it's front and fucking center.
Yeah, but we couldn't cut around that one.
This movie does pick the notch up, you know, as far as like the gore and stuff goes. It does deliver in that, you know, if you're,
it's there.
If you're
we'll show you.
Yeah, if you're gonna buy this tape thinking, oh, this is gonna be one of those like, you know, gory classics, and that's why it's so hard to find, it will pay off in that regard too.
Yeah.
Minus it being just a really fucking offensive movie.
Yeah, like I want to show another kill that there is. They kill a woman with an axe to the chest. You don't see it happen, but you see the aftermath. Yet again, a very like Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer type thing. But I love like the look on her face when she's like finally like passed, I guess. So you don't see the axe go in. All you see is her like sitting there in pain, kind of like falling down the wall. And it's actually like, because it's shot on video, I guess it just makes it like that much better. She like makes some like goofy ass faces. Like, look at, I don't know. They like pull away. Like this face to me is very just funny. I don't know.
I mean,
That's not a dead face. That's not a dead face. But like the things like that, when you're watching it in the context of the film, it works. It 100% works, right?
Yeah, it's the shot on video, like you were just saying, that like really kind of like, you know, ignites that scene for me. It looks almost genuine because of like, it looks like a tape somebody found that's like, oh fuck, did somebody kill somebody or something, you know? Like
yeah.
It has that genuine quality to it. I think that's kind of like a leading thing that with a lot of these shot on video movies, that is probably something that I never thought about why I like them so much, because some of it does have this found footage quality to it, and I love found footage movies.
Yeah.
So like I all kind of like
of
watch
realism.
them. Yeah, I watch them under that like point of view, even if they may not be shot from that or not, just because it feels like something that was not meant to be watched. Like it was like some people just making a movie and like, here it is, you know?
Yeah, of course. And that's like also when you're watching a movie, especially, you know, these low budget shot on video, hyper fucking violent, gory ones, it like really, because it's such low quality, it's able to hide things because of the resolution. It's able to hide things because of the lighting is off.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? The way that you said that, like, it kind of gives it like that little tint of realism because it's through a camcorder that you would have at your house. It's not through a fucking 35 millimeter, 20-something $1,000, you know, well, probably way more than that, but you know, it just gives it this different look, just like 16 millimeter, more so 8 millimeter, like Super 8 has that same feeling too. Like that
Super 8
natural grimy, that natural grimy feeling. And when they mix them together, like that is really cool because you're able to get that like throwback where it's like, oh, we found these old tapes. You know what I mean? And of course, like you're not going to have an old tape is not going to be like a camcorder if it's 1984 or whatever, you know?
Like watching a movie like this does feel no different than if you were to like take an old home video that your family made from the fucking early 90s and put it in. The quality is identical. I mean, it looks like exactly the same as those tapes would. Yeah,
this is definitely not like at least I don't think this is like a beta cam or something. This has to be straight up just consumer grade stuff. Now, why don't we talk a little bit more about some of the characters that are in this movie, because there are some more interesting people. One of those people who happen to be pretty intertwined in this story is basically the king of the street people, the king of the bums. Right now, this guy sounds like a lot of people that I fucking grew up around. So to me, it wasn't obnoxious. Our man Gravespitter said that I guess the dialogue and the accents and the voices these people have just fucking kill him. And he couldn't. It was so bad he had to get rid of the tape. Right? All right. So this is the king of the bums.
What can I do for you this evening, huh?
I can't find my mother. I don't know where she is.
This guy's sitting in the chair. He's all dirty and shit.
You asked me for a favor. Is that right?
You know who he sounds like?
Where were
that
you
fucking
when
rapper
Sylvia was being
Necro
paid,
from
you
fucking Long
fucking
I was thinking the same thing when I was fucking doing this. That's so funny.
does,
My
right?
heart is bleeding. If you could only
Kinda
see
looks
my-
like him, too.
My heart
Yeah.
is bleeding for you.
Right there, he really sounds like him.
But I will help.
My heart is bleeding for you.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking Necro.
And he threw in some fucking slur there also.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah, go listen to that one back and pick it out. But another person that we see, she's only a minor character that we see for a couple minutes, but this is like, I guess, his friend, right? It seems like they know each other because she's talking to him and he's like kind of trying.
She's a wild one too, dude.
Yeah, this is a pretty small clip because I couldn't really put a whole one of this too because some of the subject matter that they talk about is not conducive to this.
Risque.
You know what? I really like yogurt and cottage cheese, yeah. And I always take lemon drops too. Yeah. They're
Lemon
good for
drops,
you.
baby.
And they help me sleep good too.
Talking about them lewds, is that what's going on there?
That lady fucking asks me for $1 every day downtown. I swear to God, it's the same lady.
You know what's funny? You know who she reminds me of? In the Zombie Rampage remake, the Vampire Holocaust movie, like the Bone Crusher stand-in, the woman that the girl, she's probably only like 16 in that. She sounds exactly like this person
Very
too.
similar.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. But like, there's all sorts of
believable
characters.
Street person, dude.
Yeah.
She's believable.
Yeah, and especially the stuff that she's talking about, like before that, like very believable. And it has that very like street trash feeling. Like, remember the dude that goes into the fucking liquor store and he's like, my wife, my life sucks. Like, fuck yeah.
Just ranting.
Yeah, exactly the same. I got married in this suit, like the same type of fucking person. But there's tons of characters like that in this movie, and I feel like they did a very good job, especially for a shot-on-video film, to make them like funny, sort of believable, but also not, to me at least, not obnoxious, which is very easy to do. And as I said before, our friend said it was rather obnoxious.
Well, and I knew right away that this was going to be a favorite of yours because it had one key ingredient that Mike is fucking
finally.
known to
Finally.
love.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Your bread and butter, dude. Why don't you roll that beautiful bean footage and show the people what I'm talking about?
Everybody just think about what I would absolutely love in a movie right about now. And I'm going to play the clip in 3, 2, 1.
This is Tony Sky bringing you another in KRAP
Fake news.
69 continuing
Look at
Man
this.
on the Street interviews. Again, our topic is street people
69.
and
Yeah.
what
That's
to do
the
about
name
this
of it.
serious social problem.
There's tons of them in this movie too. It keeps going back to them. There's one with a female anchor where she's talking about John Wayne Gacy getting out of prison and starting a daycare because he loves children. Eventually, like, we'll see a little bit later on. Actually, I'll talk about that later on. But like, they keep
There's
going
tons
back.
of one-liners.
Yeah,
dude.
they keep going back to this shit, and it's all so fucking funny. It's offensive. Not gonna lie, don't watch this with your fucking 8-year-old kid, and because if they repeat this shit in school, you're gonna be fucked. But this one definitely is up there with a lot of these films that we've watched. Now, no, I got this, man. I got this.
I was gonna say,
Now-
what do we dial it up?
Now, I want to start getting into a little bit more into that relationship between Donald and Eugene, because they go on like this small killing spree, but it culminates in Eugene and Michelle Bauer's character killing him. Right? Now, the reason why...
Such a turn of events, man.
Yeah,
I
the
was
reason
shocked.
why is Donald is trying to do some disgusting things before the act of what Eugene wants. But I'm gonna say,
Disgusting things.
yeah, I don't know. We'll get used to this shit. But he has this line, and it's like fucking so dumb that it's funny. And I think I may call it this from now on.
Don't be mad, man. I mean, all my life, all I ever got was hamburger. Now, first time in my life, I'm gonna have a taste of filet mignon.
Filet mignon.
That's how Chase
Dude.
does it.
But I thought that was so fucking funny. But he wants to, do one thing, and Eugene's like, no, just you gotta kill. Like, that's it. And they disagree. So Eugene takes it upon himself to attack Donald. And then at one point asks for fucking Michelle Bauer's help. Like, hey, a little help here? I think it would be in your interest. Yeah. And they end up killing him. And that's the end of Donald. What a shame, man.
Dude, I was shocked by that scene. Because, I thought this was going to be like a tag team duo. Because he was all like, I'm the brains and you're the brawn. I can't walk, but you can. This is the perfect combination. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? But, there's so many scenes, though, where, she has to chase, he goes after her as soon as they fucking kill Donald, he still fucking goes after her. He gets his ass up into his wheelchair and fucking chases her out in the fucking bathroom and shit.
He's crazy, man. He's crazy. He's the Hellroller. Now,
he's the Hellroller.
After he kills Donald, he all of a sudden has this wild idea that hey, I need to get this potion made that'll turn everybody that's normal into handicapped people. Right? So he goes to this scientist, and this is very Reanimator Academy type
stupid.
Low
this
budget
twist I did not care for.
Yeah. Now, here's something that I loved about this. The interaction between Eugene and the scientist when they're negotiating the terms of the deal is fucking hilarious.
When did you need this by? Yesterday. Yesterday? I can't do that. I need a month. It will cost you $1 million.
Sounds like Matt Hardy.
No, he's not teleporting anywhere.
This is hilarious.
I've got $22.27.
Slaps himself.
And I need it tomorrow. I can't do that. I won't do it. I absolutely will not. Done!
I don't know why I found that so funny, where it's just I need $1 million in a month.
Dude.
And he's like, I got $22.26 and I need it tomorrow. And he's like, yeah, I got it. I fucking love the interaction between them. And he does make the potion. It's a real thing. But before we talk about the ending of this film and everything, I want to talk about probably the most, would you say, I'm not going to say graphic. It's not graphic, but the most special effects oriented kill in the movie. The stick through the skewer through the two women.
Yeah, that's probably that we can show anyways.
Yeah.
On this on YouTube for sure.
So Eugene meets these two women after they attempt to rob somebody, and he intervenes and actually lets the guy go, which is kind of weird. But they kind of become friends for a couple hours, I guess. So they come back eventually and see Eugene, and he has this fucking acid trip and just decides all of a sudden now they're after him and they're gonna get him unless he gets them first.
Let's get out of here. Come on.
Ah, skewered. The old Friday the 13th.
It legitimately looks like fucking Ace Ventura trying to come out of that fucking rhino's ass.
Yeah. Now, one thing I have to say about this movie yet again is that's a very fucking Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer thing. The fucking, the kill, and then you just see the dead body or whatever, and the close up with all that other shit. I feel it's very close to things that they were doing here. Maybe he was
inspired.
Maybe he was fucking inspired.
Meets Henry the serial killer.
So now, what do you think is probably the best thing in this movie? Now, I'm gonna say it might be the second to last kill. Technically, the end of the king.
I was just going to say the King of the Bum's death. Yeah, this visually for me does it. This is my favorite visual as far as gory. I feel this takes up a notch from where we just saw the double skewer. I feel the double skewer is a little goofy. this drives it home for me.
Yeah, so the King of the Bums basically tells Eugene, like, hey, man, what's the one rule we got? Don't fuck with the normal people. And he says, for breaking that rule, you're going to have to die. And now Eugene says, fuck that.
You die.
I'm sorry.
Look at that face. Simon Birch definitely took that. Like he's pulling his eyes out of its sockets. He's like all crazy looking. Literally pulls him out.
Remember, King, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder.
Sounds like the fucking leprechaun, right?
Oh, it does. Yeah, it is a little bit like that, dude. His facial expressions, his voice, it adds so much to this character. Like, it's believable in every offensive way that it probably should be fucking believable. It's ridiculous through and through.
I agree. And
it doesn't end, dude. It just keeps fucking going. Like, yeah, like more kills, more offensive jokes, more one-liners. Boom, 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 boom. It keeps going. I was fucking glued to it. And there's a ton of fucking boobs in this movie. It legitimately
we can't
keeps
show
on
you half of the stuff. We can't. We literally can't show you half the shit. Sorry.
There's so much boob, man. I'm like, this is the perfect fucking movie.
And for the people listening through just, your local podcast app, there's nothing really going on audio wise either. So like, you got to see it to believe it. Now with Eugene killing the king, his court comes to take Eugene away, and they dispatch him in a pretty brutal way. But the aftermath is fucking great. This is how the movie ends and the credits start rolling.
There it is. There's Eugene.
And look at this. Look, they put his name. Look.
That's fucking awesome.
That's probably one of the best end credit things that I've ever seen. Like, that is
if
just
I'm
fucking
dying
awesome.
In a movie, that's how I want my fucking credit to be on. Yeah, my fucking severed head.
Just like
that's
Chopping
awesome.
Mall, where like they have all the stuff, and the one girl's like head is exploding during her name. Like that, I always love that. Yeah, that shit is so fucking funny to me. So Grizz, why don't you give the people your final thoughts on Hellroller?
Dude, this was, Hellroller, dude, this was a fucking roller coaster of stupidity and awesomeness, man. Like, it was fucking great. I didn't know what to expect going into this, and I came out with a movie that I fucking love, man. This checked all my boxes. It's weird, it's fucking stupid, it's offensive, it's got fucking great nudity, it's got everything, dude. Like, fucking sign me up for another watch, for sure.
My man Bruce Sutter Kane rules. He told me, like, dude, you're gonna love this movie. Like, you're gonna absolutely love it. So I'm like, yeah, dude, let's do it. Let's trade. And I was hooked from there. What a ridiculous movie. It's like a fucking this is just like a mind fuck of a film. It's pretty out there with the story. Like, there's no real story. It just kind of hops from one thing to another. So it's pretty easy to watch.
Works.
Yeah, you don't gotta really. People get dispatched pretty quickly, within usually 10 minutes of them appearing on screen, good or bad. So that works. There's an awesome scene with a medical examiner that sees Eugene's aunt's body, and it's like the shit he says is so fucking bad. Like, it's like watching like a Jackie Martling fucking thing, right? Like,
this movie pushes the limit a little bit in certain ways. That's for sure.
For sure. I 100% say if you could get a copy of this on DVD, on tape, 100% do it. I feel like the tape adds to the fucking whole aura atmosphere of like, you got a bunch of people over that aren't collectors, and you're like, hey, you want to see a fucking movie that you're probably never going to have an opportunity to see anywhere else?
See a dead body?
Yeah. And you pull a fucking VHS tape of this called Hellroller, and on the front there's a fucking guy with the wheelchair and all that shit. Yeah. People...
It's clutch.
People say like, oh, I thought it was Jim Varney and all that stuff, but when you actually like are holding the tape and looking at it, like, it doesn't look like him at all.
No.
Yeah. It's when like you're seeing it from kind of afar. But I 100% say I'm actually gonna. I don't know, man. I'm gonna say We may have to think about this, but this may be a Bad Taste Hall of Famer.
I'd vote it, dude.
You're in?
That.
You're in? Bad Taste Hall of Fame inductee.
We like, dude.
Hellroller. This is a fucking awesome early 90s shot on video movie. It adds to it that you can't find it anywhere online, so I'm sorry. I'm really not sure what to do. Maybe
it fits
maybe join the Discord. Yeah, maybe we'll do something there. But this one is this is awesome. 10 out of 10 for sure.
Yeah.
Now, Grizz, it's time that we head over to the wide world of metal. And why don't you take the lead here and let the people know what we listen to?
Man, I went all the way across the country to the fucking the Bay of San Francisco, where some of my favorite metal has come from in the past, and I dug up a fucking new album from the band Snuffed on Sight. The album is called Smoke. Dude, Bay Area fucking death metal slam. Back on the fucking map, dude. I used to listen to shit from Bay Area like back in the day, dude, like bands like Animosity and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, the best fucking music videos of like the biggest fucking parties, just throwing down to metal, and I got the same vibe from this fucking band. The music is not quite what Animosity was. This is definitely more on the slam side
it's
of
like
things.
Modern slam.
It's like caveman slam shit, dude. It's fucking awesome. I love that they like combined these like certain elements of fucking hip hop into the fucking music,
like West Coast culture and all that shit.
Yeah, dude. This is like kind of shit that almost makes me jealous of that scene sometimes. I mean, I've been there and it's not the funnest place for me. As an East Coaster, you're like, why is everything so fucking slow over here? What the fuck? Why does nobody have any sense of urgency going on over here?
Yeah.
But like,
it's not a Biohazard music video from the early 90s, you know? Dude. It's not quite that,
but dude, like, these are great, man. And this was it's a 15-minute fucking album, 8 songs. You move through it pretty quick, but there's a cool fucking interlude here called the Smoke Break 2 in the center of this album. That's like a chill ass like trip hop hip hop kind of fucking thing. I thought that was super cool. I love how they threw that in. But let's get into some of these. We got 2 different videos actually from this band.
Try something a little different for you guys.
Yeah, dude. Let's start with the fucking Slippin'. I thought this is a great fucking song.
This dude wearing sunglasses playing guitar.
Yeah. Buffalo scene used to be one time.
I'd love to be in a band like this.
Dude,
bring it back to 2007.
But you look at the lyrics to this shit, it's fucking hilarious, dude. It's just the most like ignorant fucking caveman fucking lyrics, like "fuck you, you don't like me, go fuck yourself" type of fucking.
It's basically Limp Bizkit, but like slam. Yeah. This is like slam Limp Bizkit. Yeah, Slam Bizkit. Yeah. I like that, dude. I like that actually. It's like it's slam, but with a Limp Bizkit attitude.
Yeah, I do dig that. And what is cool about like a lot of these newer slam bands, they're doing like the kind of thing where they feature each other on a bunch of fucking tracks.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I love that shit because there's another great slam band out right now called Peeling Flesh. Check that fucking band out. They're amazing also. They did this song called Time to Dip with this fucking with Snuffed on Sight.
Yeah, this video's good. This video's good.
Dude.
Peeling Flesh, Snuffed on Sight, Oklahoma to fucking Cali, smoking bomb, also stealing hubcaps.
I'm in,
dude. This shit cracks me up, man. I feel like I'm watching a Cypress Hill video.
Sounds like, I know, right? That's exactly what it looks like.
Like, I'm fairly certain these guys wouldn't kill you, but it's just funny. I don't know. I like this.
It's like old Devourment shit, dude. This shit just fucking rules, dude.
You know what it is? I like bands like this because you could, like, I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know them personally or whatever. But to me, Like, this is the first time I've listened to them, obviously. But to me, like, it doesn't seem like they take themselves very seriously. You know what I mean? Like, it's not one of those things where it's like death to false metal and all that shit.
No.
And I feel like that's a bigger thing now with like the newer bands, where at least I know from like my recent band shit and all that stuff, where like it wasn't so much like I'm competing with you. It's more like the high tide raises all ships. You know what 100%. I mean? Like, where if you get big, then I'm going to take you with me. Or if I get big, I'll take you with me. You know what I mean? Like,
let's do this.
Yeah, exactly. Where it used to be like in the 80s and shit, people are like sabotaging each other and shit. No, like
that scene feels like we all eat together. Kind of a fucking vibe.
Family.
Man. That's how it should be. Yeah.
I bet this band loves Fast and the Furious.
Like, dude. They're probably watching it right now. Are you kidding me?
Sure.
Like 100%.
That's so funny.
I honestly, though, I can't recommend this enough. Yeah, just like Viano says, man, the new split with Putrid Stew. Everything that this band has touched, like they did a 4-song EP last year that absolutely fucking crushes also. That's how I first got into this band. I put it on fucking Spotify radio, and they came up, and I'm like, oh, gotta fucking stop and look what the fucking name of this band is. And I've been fucking hooked ever since. So when they came out with this, and I saw some of the other artists that they were working with, I was like, this is a no-brainer. We gotta cover this album.
Yeah, this album's fucking awesome. It's available on iTunes. It's available on Spotify. There's music videos out there, which is awesome. We're going to try to find some more music videos out there. I kind of like that more than just having the artwork and playing the song. Like, the music video is cool. You get a taste of the band a little bit. You get to see them and, you know, kind of get a little bit more of what they're about.
Even if it's just like one, you know, if I'll get audio for a song and I'll try to find a music video for one if I can and stuff like that. Anytime we can do that,
we can even start trying to find like a decent. Nah, I don't want to infringe on people's shit like regular people.
Normies.
You know, yeah, normies. But this album was fucking awesome. This is definitely now in my gym playlist also.
Hell yeah, dude. I figured you dig it. It goes hard.
I gotta say, man, I love this fucking Wide World of Metal thing. You're increasing my fucking library tenfold. Because I was listening to the same old shit. Now it's like, okay, like, let me listen to this. And then you go into the like, oh, sounds like, or, you know, similar artists. And you start digging through and it's like, fuck, this is fucking awesome. It's like how when you used to go to like the fucking record store, well, really CD store for me.
Yeah, just clicking through the fucking different things.
Exactly. And then seeing like, oh, like Metal Blade Records. Yeah, like, you know, all this shit, like you're seeing like, oh, the distros. Oh, let me see some other shit. And you would buy a random CD because it was on the same fucking distro. And it's like, well, they're probably going to be in a similar vein. And the artwork looks like a horror movie. So
I'm in, you know.
Yeah, I'm definitely in.
Similar artists on Spotify or like Last FM, I will get lost just fucking scrolling, clicking, scrolling, just looking at, there's Googling that fucking band, seeing what they sound like. It is a fucking wormhole that I constantly get lost in.
See, Viano, last week's album was great as well. Listened to it a few times this week, see? People are into it. People are digging it, man. I love it. That's why we're going to...
I think it was, or something like that. Sequestrum.
That's why we're going to keep this up. We're not gonna do away with this one. We still want to hear your bands. If you're in a fucking band, please send it to us. We want to hear it. We'll play it.
Suggestions also send them my way. Hit me in the DMs.
Fuck yeah.
Know what's up?
Yeah, let's do it. But with that, I think we're just gonna wrap it up now. This week went far better than last week with our technical difficulties. We're starting to settle into YouTube. YouTube.com/@BadTasteVideoPodcast. And you could watch us live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll start trying. I'm going to start trying to figure out how to do a Discord watch thing, and we can watch some shit on there. That's linked. Yeah, that's linked on our website, www.badtastevideo.com. Grizz, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at Kane_enabler.
And you can find me at Bad Taste Video. And we also have a Patreon where we do more episodes. We release another, well, we have been releasing another one per week, an extra shorter episode, but we're doing topics that aren't necessarily horror movies. We've covered aliens, we've covered wrestling, we've covered all sorts of shit like that. We're going to be putting out one of those a week. Maybe we'll be doing a few more. We're going to just we're going to do as many as we can. We want to take care of you
At
guys.
least once a week for sure.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Plus, that supports our channel. That supports our shit. We don't really make money, but we have to spend money to get this going. As you can see, we're trying to up the production value a little bit. If everybody subscribes to our Patreon, we could just move Grizz down to Pennsylvania, and then we can make a full set, like a Munsters scale set of the Munsters living room or some shit.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Patreon goal number 1.
Yeah. Buy Grizz the Munsters house. But so far, YouTube's been great. Twitch, you guys gave us the boot.
I mean, had your chance, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Lost out.
But yet again, youtube.com/@BadTasteVideoPodcast. We go live every week at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You could see the past live videos on there also, which is a great feature of this. But,
it's nice.
We love doing this. If you guys have any other suggestions for movies, let us know. But next week, we will be covering... Grizz?
Heavy Metal Massacre?
Heavy Metal fucking Massacre with Mr.
name or not.
with Mr. E.K. Wimmer from the Laser Graves podcast.
Yeah.
He's coming back for some heavy metal horror action.
Laser Taste is in the house again.
Yeah. It's like we're gonna form like Voltron right now. Grizz and I were shocked to see that E.K. has quite the collection of things from this movie. Not necessarily. Well, I think I saw he had like some posters or some shit. I don't know what the fuck, but he's apparently a super fan.
He's a fan. Yeah.
He's a super fan apparently. But we're gonna find out next week. We're gonna have the professor in, right? Are you am I the skipper and you're Gilligan, or are you
I hope so.
or are you like you're more like the skipper? I feel like, and I'm more like the professor.
I am pretty jolly.
EK's
I feel like that's true.
EK's like Thurston Howell III. Right? Just living the dream. That's the Laser Graves dream over there. But thank you everybody for coming. We appreciate you for signing up to the Patreon. We appreciate you spreading the word. We want to hear what you have to say. But thank you again, and we will see you next week with Heavy Metal Massacre featuring E.K. Wimmer of the Laser Graves